Hey Mick, I got one for you. Who am I? I am the great Francino. You don't know? I'll do it again. I am the great Francino. Ah, come on, Mick. You're playing the House of Ruth bill. How could you not know that? I'm Babe Ruth, man. So it's finally time to reveal the grading on the 51 Bowman. And we're going to talk about how I acquired the 51 Bowman. We're going to talk about what I paid for the 51 Bowman. And not only that, we're going to talk a little bit about the 52 Topps Mickey Mantle rookie card. And before that, how'd you guys like that short film? It's pretty funny, huh? That was the original video I recorded to showcase my 51 Bowman. My 51 Bowman. However, I was at work on the rooftop and I saw a couple of vintage airplanes and decided to make a film about dropping bombs. And that's what gave me the idea. So I had to recalculate my whole vision of making a film and all that fun stuff. And it worked out good because my brother had a good time throwing a box in my head. But let's get to it. Let's talk about these two bad boys. All right, let's talk some Mickey Mantles. Here's the 52. Let's admire it one last time before they get put away. And then here's the 51. Damn. It's not too often you get to see 51 and 52 right next to each other. So we'll start off with the 52 and then I'll talk about the 51. Okay, so this is how I acquired the 52 Mantle. Unfortunately, I suffered a back injury at work and I was not getting paid. In fact, I wasn't getting paid until like the second or third month, you know, of my back injury. And once I filed the disability format and stuff like that, I was getting paid 1/3 of my check, by the way. If you guys are unfamiliar with disability, they only pay you 1/3 of your check, which is quite disappointing, but whatever, it is what it is. It kind of left me an ultimatum because I've been collecting vintage baseball cards for well over 10 years now. At the time, it was maybe like 4 or 5. And vintage cards back then were a lot cheaper than they are today. A lot cheaper. Now they're like 2, if not 3 times, you know, more than what they are today. So what I ended up doing was I ended up selling my baseball card collection, you know, for security reasons. You know, it was the best decision I did or made only because, or at the time, it was the best decision that I made at the time due to the fact that I wasn't really getting paid and I was at home not being able to work because I'm actually disabled from 20% of my body now. You know, I throw out my back at work. So I ended up selling my baseball card collection. And at the end of the day, because I sold it for really good money, and what's good money? $20,000. That's what I sold my baseball card collection. Now, if you're wondering what I had a lot of stuff, man. You know, if you think my baseball card collection's impressive now, it was nothing compared to what it once was. You know, a lot of the sets that I'm building, it's already my second time, if not my third time, you know, completing those sets. A lot of them I already built more than once. I didn't get into autographed baseball cards. However, I was into autographed baseballs. And in my old collection, I had a lot of, you know, great autographed baseballs. A couple Micks, Ted Williams, Stan the Man, Duke of Flatbush, just to name a few. I had an amazing collection of pre-war tobacco cards. You know, I had a handful of Christy Mathewsons, Walter Johnsons, Ty Cobbs. I also had Jackie Robinson rookies, you know, several of them. Several of Gowdy's, Lou Gehrig's, and so forth. So on, you know. Just I had a quite amazing collection. But I made the decision that, you know what, life comes first, finance, because if I didn't get paid, you know, I wasn't going to be able to pay my bills. And that's, you know, bills never stop, whether you work or not. So, unfortunately, you know, just because I'm injured, you know, my bills aren't going to stop because of that. So I made the decision to sell my baseball card collection. And then, I sold it for $20,000, which is quite amazing and crazy in the same time. And unfortunately, you know, the crazy part about that is I didn't even have to sell my baseball card collection. At the end of the day, I adjusted my finances, and at the end of the day, I had money in the bank, money saved up, where I was able to pay my bills. I sold my baseball card collection for security reasons, And I even sold my 51 Chevy, and which I had recently bought, you know, right before my work injury. I had sold my 51 Chevy, and I had sold all my baseball cards except for like 7 cards that I still kept. And at the end of the day, when all that was said and done, I didn't need to sell any of my stuff because I did not even touch the money. You know, it was all there for security reasons, and at the end of the day, I didn't even have to touch it. So it left me with some, you know, some pretty good money. But, you know, I had to start my collection all over again. So it's a win-lose situation, I guess, you know, or win-win or lose-lose, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You know, I'm collecting again, and it's all fun. It's pretty fun, rebuying some of the same old baseball cards. But the prices now are crazier than what they were, you know, 10 years ago. So what I did was a portion of that went towards this card. Excuse me. Now, I didn't spend all my money on this card, obviously. You know, I was going to get back into collecting baseball cards. So I said, well, might as well, since I got, you know, some good money from my old collection, I might as well buy myself a banger. So I came across this card. And I'm going to explain later on in the video what I paid for this card. So let's move on to this card. Alright, let's talk about the 51 Bowman Mantle and how I got that. And this one was pretty crazy because I did not pull any money out of pocket to get this card at all. Zero. Yeah. So what ended up happening was last year I'll share with you guys, you know, my model railroad, my trains, if you guys can remember that. Well, I'm converting my room into a more office friendly style room because of work, and I kind of make the ultimatum that, you know what, I just can't play with my trains right now. I was buying it so when I moved out I can put it outside and all that fun stuff, but I came to the conclusion that, you know, it's gonna be a while before that happens, and I really need the space in my room. So what I ended up doing was I ended up selling my train set, my G-scale. And if you guys are unfamiliar with train sets and trains and all that train stuff, it's really pricey, man. And it took me about 4 years to build that train set, the full layout, the way I wanted it, buying piece by piece by piece. In fact, I started buying that when I was injured. But a lot of that stuff that I bought with 20% off. I bought with 15% e-bucks or 10% e-bucks. I had never paid full price. A lot of that stuff was auction styles. So I definitely made my money back on that model train. Definitely made my money back on that. In fact, I probably made a profit out of that too, because I don't recall spending what I spent on that altogether. However, I did use that money to buy this baseball card, and I'll explain to you guys in a minute what I paid for that. Alright guys, quick disclaimer. I am not here to brag about what I'm paying for baseball cards. I am not here to tell you guys how to spend your money either. This is strictly an informational video only, in case you guys want to go out and buy the same card that I'm showing you guys. You guys have a ballpark figure of what I'm paying for them. That's the only reason why I'm sharing that knowledge with you guys. I am not a high-end collector. I am an eye appeal collector. That's the only thing that matters to me, is what the card looks like, regardless of the grade. So that's the only reason why I'm letting you guys know what I'm paying for baseball cards. And not only with these as well. I drop a lot of prices on my videos on what I paid for those cards, in case you guys want to go out and buy the same card in a similar condition, so that you guys don't overpay, or so you guys have a ballpark of what I bought it for. That's the only reason why I do that. So let's get to the video. Alright guys, so before I show you guys the prices of what I paid for these, here's something to think about, okay? And I hear a lot of people saying that they can't afford a Mickey Mantle card. I hear a lot of people saying that they can't afford vintage cards. If you really wanted these cards, there's a way to get them. There's absolutely a way to get them. First of all, do you really want the card? Do you really need the card? Okay? Is it a card? Is it a must-have card? I have these because I've always wanted them when I was a kid. Okay? So I found a way to pretty much buy them now that I have them. And here's some tips and tricks. Maybe it'll help you guys or not. But you can buy Mickey Mantle cards for cheap. Look at this, $1. You know, may not be the Mantle that you want, but it's still a Mickey Mantle card, right? There's a lot of affordable Mickey Mantle cards you can get on the cheap. Look at this one. And look at the condition. Yeah, off-centered a little bit, but hey, still a Mickey Mantle card. Or you can buy 2 of them. I bought these in a lot for $30. Look at that. 15 bucks. They come out to be 15 bucks. Okay? A lot of you guys buy blaster boxes, and then a lot of you guys also say that you guys can't afford a Mickey Mantle card. You can buy a better condition one for $20. You know, for the price of a blaster box. Here's another one for 20 bucks that I paid. You know? Here's some more for 20 bucks that I paid. Instead of going out and buying a blaster box, you can go out and buy a Mickey Mantle card. You know, it's not that hard. They're not that expensive. You know, I'm finding them cheap all day. But I'm also diversifying my collection, so I don't just buy Mickey Mantle cards. Here's one for 25. And here's a cool one for 25. Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron. I look for deals all day. You can find these deals all day. And one of my suggestions for you guys is auction style. You can find these all day for cheap, auction style. May not be the ones you want, but these are still Mickey Mantle cards. You know, I don't understand when people say they can't afford a Mickey Mantle card. Look at that, 25 bucks for this Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays. Here's another one, Mantle, Trish, Richardson. And then you start going into the top sets. Here's the one that I picked up for 40 bucks. Still cheap. A lot of you guys buy 2 blaster boxes. You can buy a Mickey Mantle for 40 bucks instead of buying those 2 blaster boxes. Here's another one for 45. Again, it may not be the mantles that you want, but they're still mantles. Here's one lower grade, but hey, I'll pay 45 bucks for it. Look at it, it looks pretty stunning. Just because it has tape here, tape here. You know, I'm not about the grade, I'm about the card. Here's one for 45 bucks that I paid. And what I could easily do, and here's one, and here's a suggestion or opinion, or whatever, however you want to take it. I can easily just sell all these if I wanted to, and buy myself a nice 1956 Mantle, or a 54, or a 55. Maybe all this will get me enough to buy me a 53. You know, who knows? But what you could do is just be smart with your money, and just start picking up smaller Mantles. You know, smaller Mantles. Just here, right here is like 200 bucks. You know, here's another one. Here's another one. Right here is 300 bucks. So if I were to sell these, I can easily get myself a 1956. So there's a way to get these cards. You just have to be smart with your money. You know, it's called investing. And I know a lot of you guys are against investing or don't like calling it investing, but in reality, when you're buying baseball cards, it's automatically investing in baseball cards, because everybody wishes everyone thinks of a return when they go out buying cards, because everybody's rookie prospecting, hoping for the next Mike Trout, and I hear everybody in their videos saying, oh, this card's worth this much, oh, everybody's chasing this card, oh, blah 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 blah. Everybody talks money, even though they don't realize that they are talking about money in baseball cards. And you can easily get these if you wanted to, if you just, you know, spend your money wisely a little bit. So if I really wanted to, I can sell all this Mantles right here and get myself a nice, you know, 53 tops, perhaps a 54 Bowman, perhaps a 55 Bowman, or a 56 tops. Who knows, man? Maybe a 57 tops or an autograph, because the Mantle autographs are quite pricey now. I saw one of these autographed just a couple years ago, selling the 250 mark. Now they're less than $800. So I really screwed myself in that one. I'm waiting on a Mantle autograph. So just something to think about, you know, collecting and how to collect, and you know, just giving you guys some pointers on what you guys can do to acquire the cards that you guys really want. That being said, let's talk about the pricings. Alright, so we're going to start off with the 51 Bowman, and I'm going to share with you guys the grade. And I know a lot of you guys cheated. I know some of you guys went on eBay and found out and compared the card. Cheaters. And some of you guys are professional graders, and which you guys pretty much pointed out all the defects. But yeah, you guys are all right. I don't buy high-end stuff. Look at that, a pour. And look how stunning that is for a pour. Badass, right? And I traded this card for my train set. And this is what I sold my train set for. Literally. You know, I was quite impressed when I sold it for what I thought I sold it for. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go buy me a Mickey Mantle card. But originally, I was gonna buy myself a Hank Aaron card, a rookie card, and a Roberto Clemente rookie card, because that was actually on my 2020 list, you know. But I came across this card, and I was like, wow, what a stunning ass card for a pour. You know, no creases, semi-soft corners, whatever. I'll write it in the back, no big deal. But I thought I was quite impressed, so I ended up buying that. Okay, for this one, when I sold my baseball cards for $20,000, you know, a small portion of that went towards this card, and then the rest of it just went towards my other investments. And this is what I paid for this card. Keep in mind, I bought this 4 years ago, so prices for this card, you're not going to get it for this cheap anymore, or at least I don't find them for this cheap anymore. And this was something that we went back and forth with the seller, the guy that sold me this card. Originally, he wanted $9,000 for it, or actually $995 for it, and we just went back and forth, and we finally settled down on this number, $7,500. So that's what I paid for this card. Again, it was affordable for me at the time. I thought it was a good deal for me at the time, and you know what? Now that I look back at it, it's a great deal, because if I were to sell this card, you know, easily a $10,000 card if I wanted to, you know. So that's what I paid for that. And yeah, just be smart with your money, guys. You know, invest your time, invest your cards, invest your knowledge, do some research on whatever it is you guys are buying. Again, the only reason why I put prices on my cards is to know what I'm paying for it, or if I ever decide to sell this card, I know what I paid for it, you know. Also, for you guys, if you guys are out there looking for a Mickey Mantle card, okay, well, Mikey bought a card with some lines, you know, lower grade, blah, 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 and he paid $15. So I should find a card around that area for about $15. Maybe I overpaid, maybe not, I don't know. But whatever it is that I'm paying for these cards, I'm feeling like I'm getting a good deal, because I'm seeing these all day, you know, a lot more than what I'm paying for them. Example, this card. This is easily like a $50, $60 card in this condition. Look at this condition. And I paid $25 for it. Here's another one. These sell in the $60 range. You know, it's a little off-centered, but hey, still pretty good. It meets my standards. So here's another one for $55. So just thought I'd share all that with you guys, you know, sharing some knowledge with you guys and all that fun stuff. So hopefully this can help you guys. Hopefully you guys can benefit from it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. See you guys later.